One thing that I've noticed in my life is that the people around me are very attached to the objects that they own. They find it very difficult to get rid of items that they've had for a very long time. This isn't the case for me. When I was 13, I ended up losing all of my belongings. Everything had to be replaced, from clothing to electronics, even bedding. So because of this, I really don't get attached to objects, but this rule does have an exception. I have 3 items I am particularly attached to. This includes a spiral necklace, my wedding ring, and a Nintendo 64. Each of these items has some significance in my life, and all were given to me by someone that I love. When I think of these items, it makes me happy, which is probably why I've kept them safe. The necklace. This piece I bought on my trip to Peru. We were traveling to Cusco and decided to take a detour to shop. We found this artisan silver store, and it had jewelry for very cheap. I was looking and I found this piece and its twin, and I decided to buy it and give the twin to my grandmother. After I checked out, I was waiting for the group to finish, and this guy was selling paintings and trying to get me to buy one of them. I decided to look and saw a couple I really liked. I asked him the price and then told him it was too much. Then he started to haggle with me while standing in the doorway of the store. I told him I wasn't interested, but he continued. I decided to walk to the bus and wait, and he followed me and tried to haggle outside the bus's window. Finally, the shopkeeper came to my rescue and told him to leave me alone. That was one of the more exciting shopping trips of my life, and what was supposed to be a nice outing to buy some jewelry for my grandmother and I ended up turning into a very strong haggle session. I did end up buying the paintings at another store, no bartering required. The wedding ring. So, John and I met in high school, and we had an on-again and off-again relationship for a few years. It wasn't really until college that we became more serious, and I realized that John really was the one for me. So, I was at work one day, and jokingly, the lady in jewelry asked me what engagement ring I would be interested in. I took a look, and I found a few and took a picture with my phone, and I decided to text John. I said, "This is the one I want, John." And I attached a picture of the ring, and he responded, "Are you serious? You want to marry me?" And I told him, of course I did. I loved him. Why wouldn't we get married? So from that day on, John started planning our engagement. He took me to Golden, Colorado, and we were looking at a jewelry store and found this beautiful ring. Now, I love history and antiques, so it was perfect. It was from the 1930s. It had beautiful inlay, a beautiful diamond, perfect, but a little bit out of our price range. So I looked online, found one that I liked, texted it to John, and he ended up buying it for me. John proposed to me in front of Sears at the fountain. It was a special place to both of us, and of course I said yes. The Nintendo 64. I remember the day clearly. It was Christmas morning, and the trees glistened with snow from the previous night, and a large box was underneath the Christmas tree. My siblings and I were filled with anticipation as we opened the box. It was a Nintendo 64. We hooked it up to the TV and spent the rest of the day playing Diddy Kong Racing. This is one of the best Christmas memories I have, and this moment really inspired my love for video games. I still have our own old Nintendo 64, and I love setting it up and playing Zelda, Super Smash Bros., and Mario with my friends and family. Every time I play, I remember the many nights playing with my brother and sister. My brother and sister now live in different states, but I love that video game technology has evolved so much that we can still play and talk to each other. It's one of the reasons we are still so close. Video games really have the stigma of isolating people, but for us, it really brought us together, and it continues to bring us together to this day. Although I'm typically not attached to many items, these 3 things have so many good memories that I'm happy to be attached to them. The end.